Do you constantly find yourself stuck in these negative thought loops and negative statements around you trying to achieve your health goals? Now, what I mean is, many of you probably have goals that you want to achieve, but often you get blocked because you have this idea of, I can't do that right now. I don't have enough time. I don't have the money to eat in that particular way. Oh, I don't have the time to go to the gym. So there's all these sort of negative declaratory statements that state that you can't do it. They kind of affirm the fact that you can't. So therefore, there's no point in really trying. Now, the catch with this, of course, is if we believe that to be true, I don't have time, I don't have the money, I don't have the energy, I don't have the resources, or whatever it is that we're thinking, if we believe that to be true, then we will act in alignment with it. Not necessarily because it is true, but more because we would like to prove ourselves right. Because let's face it, none of us like to be wrong. None of us like to be proved wrong. So even though, yes, I would like to lose weight, or I would like to be healthier or get out of pain, because I've told myself it's not possible due to all of these limiting factors that are lined up and in my way, there's no point me acting in alignment with it. So therefore, I won't get the outcome that I want. Now, of course, on the flip, what we ideally want is to stand in a place of power and go, no, I can, I will. Now, I understand that kind of sounds like an airy-fairy concept. Oh, well, just say you can, so therefore you will. And to be honest, for most people, it is. It's a nice idea. Oh, well, I said I will, so therefore I'm going to do, isn't necessarily going to be true either, because we don't believe in that statement with the same or at the same level that we do the negative one. Oh, I don't have time is often believed in more than actually I could find a half an hour a day to do some workouts, or I could find the time to cook a better meal, and so on. Because we've been stuck in a particular habit or behavior pattern for an extended period of time, that becomes our truth, and that creates the reality that we currently live. So therefore, we see the world from that particular frame. So now, just because I've said, oh, I can or I will, doesn't mean I will unless I've gotten to a complete point of, you know what, I've had a fucking enough. I have to do this. I'm going to do it. And I'm literally declaring it, I will. But for many of us, we can't just jump to that stage. So what we sometimes need is a bridge in between. And the bridge comes in the form of a question. So what we learn to do is actually question our beliefs so that we can maybe find opportunities to reframe them or find answers that actually oppose them. So instead of being like, oh, well, I don't have time to work out, instead we go, okay, well, how can I find time to work out? Yes, I'm very busy. Right now, I feel like I don't have the time to do it. But what could I change about my current lifestyle that would give me the opportunity to do it? Oh, I don't know how to cook healthy food. Okay, cool. So you don't know how to cook healthy food. But what could I do to learn how to cook healthy food? Or what measures could I put in place to give me access to healthy food, regardless of the fact that I feel I can't cook it? So just by reframing the way that we see things, rather than having these statements of I can't or I won't and so on, instead we question it and give ourselves and our mind an opportunity to find an answer. Then often when we find that answer, because we found it and we ask the question, often it will align with something that will work with us, rather than just somebody else giving us a set of instructions to follow, which may get us to the result, but might not actually align or fit in our current lifestyle. So often if we're willing to ask the question to ourselves and give it time, you don't have to answer immediately, because what will happen when we decide that we need to find new information and we present ourselves with an information gap, the brain wants to fill that in. We have a system in the brain called the reticular activating system, and it's essentially set up on like a seek and find type system. So it's a bit like when you first see the new registration that comes out. Like you don't see any, then suddenly you see one, and now you see them everywhere. Or you haven't seen a pink car for years, suddenly you see one pink car and every other car seems to be pink all of a sudden. And it's because this particular part of the brain, as I say, is designed to kind of seek and find. So if we present questions that are open-ended, that allows us to then unconsciously and subconsciously seek these answers without having to consciously get books or go on the internet and so on. So instead, we have these insights and revelations just suddenly pop up from places, or we'll notice things and suddenly it's like, oh, that's the answer I was looking for. And then we can fit it in. And sometimes if we're given that answer that lies in the gap between I can't and I will, then that will help us to gain more confidence and clarity and certainty within ourselves, so that we can start to bend towards the declaration that we will. And when we do so, we'll actually believe in it because now I found a solution that might actually work for me. Then, of course, once we start taking action and we start getting results, and that confirms to us, oh, fuck me, I can do this, then we're more likely to start betting on ourselves more frequently because now we've shown ourselves that we can show up for ourselves, we can find answers for ourselves, we can take action for ourselves, and therefore get results for ourselves. So now I have no reason to doubt myself any longer. One, I said I was going to do it, and I did it. So I'm now living in integrity. I believed I could do it and I got results. So that proved to me that actually this thing that I said I would do is effective and it is going to work for me. So therefore I can continue doing it. And that helps us to stop seeing ourselves from this place of victimhood or lack or scarcity where I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I can't this, I can't that, and so on. Instead, we can build up that momentum and build over time this bridge that can allow us to be more certain in ourselves and our decisions so that we can therefore move forward, take more effective action and get much, much bigger results. So that's what I'll leave you guys with tonight. Just a little thing to kind of ponder there. If you find yourself stuck in these negative thought loops, then just learn how to reframe them. Take the time to practice whenever you feel yourself or catch yourself saying, I can't this, or I don't that, or I won't, and so on, or I'm not able to. Ask the question, how could I? How could I make this thing a reality for me? How could I find the time to train? How could I make it easier for me to get healthy food in multiple times a day? How could I make it easier for me to get to bed on time and get 7 to 9 hours of sleep and so on? Rather than just, I can't, my lifestyle won't allow, and so on. So I'll leave you there with that one tonight, guys. If you have any questions, as always, drop them in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the types of things that we do here, you can check us out at strongerthanlife.com. And if not, I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Take it easy, people, and I shall chat to you soon.